All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. So let's start with our toe lifts. So I am still wearing my brace. I mean, I feel okay, but I feel it from my knee down to my ankle. So I'm just going to be very gentle doing certain exercises that involve my legs. Good. Heels up, right, and left. And then I feel it a little bit I think it's my sartorius, which is a muscle that goes from your hip all the way down to the inside of your knee. But I feel it a little bit in there sometimes as well. So just to be aware, I'm going to be very cautious with my knee today. Same thing, you should do the same thing. So if you have any issues with your joints or anything like that, be cautious, start the movements with small range of motion and go nice and slow until you start to feel looser and you start to feel a little bit better. Here's 2 and 1. Good. And we're going to bring it into the center. We're just going to open and close right at the chest. And for those of you that do the Apple Watch or you track this, keep going. You can do flexibility is what I do. So I just like to do flexibility. So just a nice, good, big open and close. Here's 2. And 1, bring it in, palms facing in, and we're just going to do big range of motion, inhale and exhale. So I'm really just focusing on the movement right now. It's okay if you're thinking, oh, normally at the end of class I can go farther than this. It's okay, you're at the beginning of class. So we're just trying to get those joints moving. Pain-free range of motion. Here's 2. And 1, let's tap it out to the side, reach across the body. So today we're going to be on the floor for most of the class, and we're actually going to be on our back for quite a bit. So I think it's about 50-50 on our backs and then on, hands and knees, down dog, things like that. And then we're going to come up, and if you have a yoga strap for a couple exercises or grab your resistance band. We're going to do a few upper body exercises with that. Good. Let's tap it to the side. Reach it up. Little side bend, side wave. So just think like you're washing the windows, which if you need to wash your windows, you better get it done because either that or just let the precipitation this weekend take care of it for you. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it into the center, feet hip width apart. Set your shoulders down and back, pull the ribs down, palms facing forwards, thumbs pointing to the ceiling, and we're moving from our shoulders. Good, and let's change direction. It doesn't have to be big circles. We're just starting to wake them up a little bit. 3, 2, 1, let's bring it in, and now we're just going to add, sorry I flashed you. I'm going to just add a nice good reach. Side bend, we're not pushing the hip out here. I just want you to think about lifting the ribs, dropping the hips. Nice good reach. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring those feet in. So feet are hip width apart, and we're just going to do some nice good hip circles. So nice good circle one way, then circle the other. Good, and let's change direction. 2 and 1, and then let's go ahead and turn the toes out just a little bit. So we start from our hips, so we externally rotate those legs, and that means we rotate starting from the hip and the rest of the leg just follows along. Good, and let's change direction. And 2 and 1. Good. And we're going to internally rotate. So again, starting from the hip. It doesn't have to be this huge internal rotation, but I want you to rotate the hips in. So it's like you're trying to get your knees to point towards each other, trying to get your knees to talk to each other. 2 and 1. Change direction. Here's 2 and 1, bring it in, shake it out a little bit, hold on to something if you need to, and we're just going to do our nice good lifts and lowers. And I didn't feel like I did anything super heavy today, but I can definitely feel my hamstrings. So I'm not sure what I did this week, aside from falling. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to switch it over to the other leg. I like to turn just because it gives me a little bit of space. So again, a little bit of a soft knee. I like to flex my foot a bit, and we're just moving from the hip. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to do our side leg lift, and again, I step away from a wall. I secure my standing leg, stand nice and tall, and I'm just going to do a swing. And I want you to think swing. I want you to think swing. So like a swing at a playground. And we're going to swing and we're going to take it up and over. And it's okay if your swing just comes, you know, to the midline of the body. It does not have to go really far across. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, switching over to the other leg. Adjust as necessary. I have to move over a little bit. And again, just nice, good swings. Nice, good swings. So we don't want to turn our toe up towards the ceiling. I want you to try to keep it pointing forwards. And it's just going from one side of the body over to the other. How far you go is up to you. So again, it can just be right here. Little swings come to the center of the body. Or can you cross? Here's 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. We're going to take those legs nice and wide. Toes forward or a little bit out to the side. This is our double pulsing side lunge. So we're just going to take it over to one side, and then we're going to take it over to the other. And this is one, again, remember, we're not actively pushing our knee out. We're still trying to sit our hip back towards our heel. So we're hinging right at the crease in the hips. And yes, your knee is going to move towards your toes. We just don't want to actively push it towards your toes. So it's, I don't know if you heard that, my knee just popped. It's how your body keeps your balance. So it's really hard. You know, you can still do it, but if you don't bend your knee, then you're getting a lot more of a bow. I want you to really sit. So it's a little sit and a little sit. Here's 2 and 1. Good. Bring it in. Straight legs, hinging at your hips. Spine is nice and neutral, forward, middle, and back. So again, we reach forwards, middle, and then reach through. So we're going to do forward, middle, reach through. And you can see I'm not rounding my spine here. I'm staying nice and tall. So hinge, hinge, hinge. And again, it's okay if you're not able to get to the floor. I usually start, away from the floor until I start to feel a little bit looser. And then I start to work my way down. Good. We're going to do one more here. Forward, middle, back. Carefully bring yourself all the way up. Keep the legs nice and wide. Arms out to the side, side lunge. And now we're going to do a little torso rotation. And I want you to reach. Now, I don't want you to be here. See how my arm is just kind of flopping back there and getting to the floor? I want you to open your shoulder back behind you. So open the shoulder. It's almost like you're rotating and you're trying to reach for the ceiling. So it's not about how far can I get my hand back here. It's can I try to open up towards the ceiling? And if you can't, it's okay. If you can't, it's okay. Good, 2 more. I'm definitely at that feeling crunchy situation today. All right, now we're going to take it back into a plank. So you can just hinge it forward right here, step it back, or incline plank is just fine. We're going to hinge, and then we're going to come forwards again. So we hinge and come forwards. So it's down dog into a plank. Now here's an option for our last 4. Down dog, reach your hand to your toe, back to plank. Down dog, reach, back to plank. This is a little bit harder, so keep that in mind. Good, last one. All right, bring it in. Carefully bring the knees down to the floor. We're going to go ahead and start on the floor, and we're going to start on our backs. So you can grab a drink before you come down to the floor if you'd like. But we're going to start on our backs. And we're going to do our 90-90s, but we're going to be on our backs doing them instead of on our buns. So we're going to take it all the way down. We're going to start with our legs a little bit wide. And I want you to try to take your arms out to the side, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And we're going to take our knees over 90 and then take it over 90. And your goal is to try to keep your opposite shoulder on the floor. So we don't want to lift our entire body up to rotate, even though I did just get my SI joint to pop when I did that. I told you, I am definitely a bowl of Rice Krispies today, or a bowl of gravel. So we're really just going to go kind of side to side, here, and then here. So side movement, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we're going to take both knees over to the right, and we've done this before. It's just a little bit different. So you're going to have your bottom leg in front. Your top leg is going to be kind of opened back behind. Your top arm, we've rolled slightly to our side. Our top arm is going to be out. We're going to do kind of an open book, but I want you to think top arm, I want you to push forwards so it's a little farther reach, and then we're going to go ahead and bring it up and around, and then we're going to come back around, and it's stacked. So it's kind of hard to see. I'm stacked. I push forward, so my top hand goes out farther than my bottom hand. I open out, and then I come back around. Good. So they're stacked. Push it forwards. So you're doing a little torso movement. Bring it out and around, and then back. Good. We're going to do that one more time. So press it out, circle, up and around, and then come back around. Good. Let's bring it back into the center. I'm going to turn around. You are welcome to just roll over to the other side, but we're going to do the same thing. Same thing. So we had our legs at our 90. We rotate it to the left side now. We bring that left arm up to the top. So your bottom leg is up, your top leg is back a little bit. Take that top hand, we're going to press it forward, and then we're going to circle it up and around, coming back around, and then return to center, and you're stacked. So top arm, so it's hard to see, but you press it forward. So now that arm is reaching farther out than the bottom one. And same thing. So like my top leg is not touching the floor. Good. Reach it out, circle up and around, but I'm trying to keep my bottom hip glued to the floor. And circle. Good. One more time. Press it out, circle it up and around. And I don't know if you heard, my shoulder just popped. I told you, I am crunchy today. I am so crunchy today. Good. And bring it in. Let's roll over onto our backs, and we're going to do a bridge. So what I want you to think about is just a little bit of a rib tuck. We're going to take our hands by our hips, inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to lift. We're going to roll up into a nice good bridge. We're going to hold it. Let's take our right arm and we're going to bring it up and rest it on the floor. So left hand is pressing down, right hand goes to the floor, and now we're going to slowly lower it back down, return your hand to the start. Let's do that again. So lift the ribs, tuck, nice good squeeze. Right hand presses into the ground this time. Left hand, we're going to bring it up. We're going to reach, and then we're going to slowly lower the hips to the floor. Bring that arm back. So we're going to alternate sides. Tuck the ribs, squeeze the glutes, roll it up, hold it at the top, squeeze. Arm goes up, reaching overhead. Slowly lower the hips down to the floor. Arm returns. So tuck, lift it up, hold it here, Reach the arm up and back. Slowly lower the hips to the floor. Return. We're going to do that one more time each side. So we're going to squeeze the glutes, hold it here, lift that arm up, try to get it flat to the floor, slowly lower down, and return. Good, one more time. So good core stability here. Squeeze the glutes, reach the arm up, hold it here, slowly lower, and back in. Good. Gotta remember what is next. Oh yeah, we gotta do our windshield wipers. So we're gonna take our hands out to the side, palms facing up, and I want you to lift your legs into a dead bug position. And we're gonna take knees together, feet together, 90-90, and we're gonna do windshield wipers. So we're gonna take both knees over to the right, nice and slow, but your left shoulder is gonna stay on the floor. Good, hold, and then bring it back up, and we're gonna switch it over to the other side. So we're gonna take it over, a little hold, and then back in. So your body, when you go to the right side, your left shoulder is going to want to lift off of the floor. Your challenge is to not let it. And I also want you to think about squeezing the knees together so that they're stuck together. So we don't want to go out to the side and have our legs separate. I want you to keep them together and bring it back up. Good. We're just going to do a couple more right here. So take it over to the side and in. And then again, over to the side and in. Let's go ahead and bring it into the center. Knees bent, feet flat. So we're going to come up with our dead bug. So we're going to take our right arm and our right leg, and we're going to lift them up towards the ceiling, just this side only, and we're going to take it down, and then we're going to bring it back up again. So we take it down, and we bring it back up. So we're focusing on a nice stable core here. So the foot goes down, heel goes to the floor, thumb goes to the floor, and then we bring it back up. So down and lift. And we're getting a nice good stretch. We're getting some shoulder mobility here. Here's 2. Good. And 1. And now we're going to switch. Same thing. So left arm is up, palm facing in. Left leg is up. And we're just going to take it down, and then we're going to lift. Now, your shoulders might not like you to go all the way to the floor. Okay, that's all right. I would rather have you go here than bend the elbow and relax just to get your hand to the floor. We're trying to work on that shoulder mobility. And I know everybody's shoulders are a little bit different. So just down and up. So lower and lift. Good, couple more. Take it down and lift and down and lift. Good, and now we're going to take it all the way for a more traditional dead bug. What we're going to do is right leg is going to go to the floor, right hand is going to go to the floor, your left leg is going to stay here, but your left arm is going to go overhead. So we're just going to take it all the way down, bring it up, and then we're going to switch. So now left heel and left pinky go to the floor, right hand goes to the floor overhead, and then come back up. So this is kind of a lot to think about. So down and lift, and down and lift. So lower and back up, lower and back up. So we're focusing on good core stability here. So both arms are moving, one goes up, one goes down, but your legs, one goes down, one is stationary. Here's 2, and lift, and 1, and lift. Good. Now keeping that low back glued to the floor, I want you to take your legs up. I want you to straighten your knees. So I want you to really think, squeeze the quads. Don't let your legs drop out here. That's harder on your back. I want you to lift it up, low back into the floor. I want you to point your toes. And now I want you to flex your toes. Point your toes and flex your toes. And I really want you to think as well, I don't want you to just do just your toes. Ankles are included. Point and flex and point and flex, and point, and flex, and point, and flex. Good, 2 more times, and point, and flex, and point, and flex. Good, and we're going to carefully take one leg down, and then the other. We're going to roll onto our side. So it's just a nice good side lying position. I'm going to take my bottom arm out straight, okay? Your bottom leg can be bent and your top leg is going to be straight. And I want you to think we don't want to roll onto our tummies. We're going to be on our side. And I want you to imagine that you're trying to engage your core. So I want you to lift the side. It's hard to see, but I want you to lift the side off of the floor. So it's not a big movement, but instead of just resting, I want you to lift the side off of the floor. Your top leg is a little bit of a bent knee, and I want your foot to be floppy. So instead of locking it out and being stiff, I want it to be a little bit floppy. So bent knee, relaxed foot, and now we're going to lift and lower with our hip. So we're going to lift and we're going to lower, lift and lower. So I want you to try to relax the knee, relax that ankle and foot. So we're lifting just with our hip. And remember, we're also lifting the ribs off of the floor. So it's a lot to think about here. So we're really actively engaging our core, bracing. Good, relaxed foot, lift the ribs off the floor. So I should be able to put my hand, you should be able to reach underneath and just do a nice good lift. Good, we're going to take it up and we're going to hold it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, and we're going to bring it in and we're going to go over to the other side. And again, you can just roll over. I'm going to turn. So we're going to take it down onto our side. Same thing. I like to reach my arm out. I'm going to rest my head kind of on my arm, on my shoulder. Bottom leg is going to be bent. Your top leg, again, we're trying to keep it straight, so we don't want to let it come forward. We don't want to take it way back. I want you to think about kind of engaging your core, lift, and it's a very small movement. It's only about 1 inch or 2. Lift, soft knee, floppy foot, and we're just going to start to lift and lower. And when we lift and lower, a lot of times we start to drop our ribs down to the ground. So I want you to really think, stack it, lift the ribs off the ground, and do your lift and lower. So we're stabilizing our core here. Nice good lift, nice good lower. Lift and lower. So your test for your ribs is, can you get your fingers between your ribs and the floor? It might be just barely, okay? So it's not necessarily going to be this huge, big movement, but lift and lower. Soft knees, floppy foot. And I feel this one much more on this side. This side feels tight today. Good, and let's take it up and hold it for 8, 7. Good, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully bring it down. We're going to flip it over onto hands and knees, and we're going to do a cat-cow. So we're going to flip it over. Good hands and knees position. If you need to, roll up your mat and either put it under the heel of your hands if you have wrist issues, or instead of putting it under your kneecap, put it below your kneecap so it elevates the knees off the floor, but you can still be in a hands and knees position. We're just going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to inhale, gentle arch of the back, open the chest, and then we're going to exhale, separate the shoulder blades, tuck the chin, round the spine. Good, so shoulders down, inhale, gentle arch of the back, open the chest, lift the chin if you can, exhale, tuck the chin. We're going to pull it in. Good, inhale, shoulders away from the ears, long neck, look forwards. Exhale, we're going to tuck. Good, so nice, good inhale and exhale. Good, we're going to do one more. So inhale and exhale. Good. Find that nice neutral position. We're going to do bird dogs with a crunch. So we're going to lift our right hand and our left leg. Left hand, right leg are on the floor, but we're going to reach it out. We're not arching and rounding here, we're just reaching forwards. And then I want you to do a little crunch, and you can bring your hand or your elbow to your thigh. So we're gonna reach, and then we're gonna crunch. So we're adding a little bit of spinal movement here. If you don't want to add the spine movement, you're gonna hold it nice and steady, just like this. So you're gonna reach it out and forwards, and then you're gonna pull it back in. So nice, good reach, lengthen, and pull it in. Good, one more, reach and lengthen, and pull it in. Let's bring it in, switching to the other side, a nice, good reset. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So we're gonna take it out, and then we're going to tuck it in. We're gonna reach it out, and then tuck. So if you don't want to do the arch and the round, if you want to hold your spine nice and stable, again, just reach it forward. And then you can still do hand to thigh, but your spine stays in that neutral position. But if you'd like, reach, add that tuck, reach, and pet the kitty. Yes. Reach it out, bring it in, pet the kitty. Good, reach it out. Little pets, try not to kick the cat. Last time, reach it out. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring it in. So nice, good hands and knees position. And I want you to come over to a side plank. We're getting a little bit of a side stretch. So side plank on your leg, so bottom knee. Your top leg is gonna be out straight, and I want you to try to open. So my toe is touching the ground. And what I want you to do is I want you to do a nice, good side bend. So we're lengthening this side of our body. Nice, good side bend. So my top leg is straight, my bottom knee is bent, and we're good. If you're like, I cannot do this today, that's okay. I want you to sit into a child's pose, and I want you to reach to the opposite side of your body. So that's a little bit more of a safer position. Some of you might not find this comfortable, and that's okay. But good, lengthen, and let's bring it in. We're gonna switch over to the other side. I'm gonna turn. You can just rotate to a side plank on the other side, not a problem. So shoulder is still over, and I'm kind of trying to keep my leg nice and straight underneath me, and I'm going to bring it up, a little bit of a side plank, squeeze my glutes so I'm nice and tall, and I'm adding in that good side reach. And it's okay if your side reach is here, as long as you feel that stretch along the entire side length of your body. That's kind of what we're going for. And again, if this is not for you today, you are welcome to kind of be in a bit of a child's pose and reach your arm over to the opposite side. You're golden. Good. Here's 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and bring it in. We're going to flip it over onto hands and knees. We're going to lift it up into a down dog. So shoulders over your wrist to start with. Tuck those toes under. We're going to go ahead and lift it up and press it back. And this time I want you to try to work on pressing your heels down to the ground, and they don't have to touch. You can see my heels do not touch. I'm feeling a lot of stretching in my hamstrings all the way down, but just a nice, good stretch. Good, and now we're going to carefully come back to hands and knees. You can sit back into a child's pose, give yourself a little bit of a break. The cat has just discovered the mirror. Good, so let's lift it up and back into down dog. And this time we're going to keep our knees straight. We're going to do both heels at the same time. Keep the down dog position. Lift your heels like you want to come up on your toes, and then very gently start to press the heels down. Lift the heels, and then take it down. So normally we do walk the dog, and we do one at a time. This time I want you to try to do both. And then down. Good, this is our last one. Lift and set it down. Let's go ahead and carefully come to our knees. You can sit your hips back into a little bit of a child's pose. We're going to get the blood to go back to where we want it to be. Good, and now we're going to pull ourselves forward, and I just want you to hold a plank. I just want you to hold a plank. Now, I want you to think about your feet. You can see here my heels are behind my toes. I want you to think about having your heels directly over your toes. So instead of pressing the heels back and doing a calf stretch, I want your heels directly over your toes. You're kind of balancing on the ball of the foot and the big toe. Good. And here's 3, 2, and 1. Carefully bring those knees down. Point your toes, and now we're going to drop it down into a variation of up dog. If this does not feel good for you today, I want you to come down onto your tummy, and you can be in Sphinx, or you can rest all the way down, chin resting on the hands. But we want to think shoulders away from the ears, nice, tall, long body posture, squeeze the glutes, help protect your low back. We're lengthening through the front of the body versus just dropping to the floor. So lengthen and lift. And here's 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to push our hips back towards our heels. We're going to come to a kneeling position. Give those wrists a break. And when you are ready, we're going to come up to a standing position. Grab a drink, and we're going to grab our resistance bands. So you can do a lot of these exercises with the long bands. Or if you have loop bands, you can do some of these exercises with loop bands as well. They're just going to be a little bit different because they're shorter. I don't know if it's because it got cold, but man, she has just been all about the attention this week. All right, we're going to work on our shoulders a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your band or your yoga strap for this one in your right hand, and you're going to bring it around like we're going to do an overhead tricep extension exercise. So it's just going to kind of be by your head, and it's right down the center of your back. Your other hand, you're going to take the palm facing back in the back of the hand to your small of your back, or it might be down by your hip, and you're going to grab the band. You're going to grab the band. So one hand is up, one hand is down, and all you're going to do is you're going to wash your back. And you don't have to get your arm up perfectly straight. We're just going to kind of do a little wash your back. This one works a little bit better with a yoga strap or with a hard band, like one that doesn't have a lot of stretch. But we're just kind of doing a little bit of movement. So you can take it down, stretch your tricep here. I'm going pretty far down, and then lift, and I'm really trying to get that hand towards the middle of my back. Take it down, and then lift. So we're using a towel, we're drying off. Good, and let's go ahead and release the band, bring it in, shake it out. We got to do the same thing on the other side. And your shoulders are going to be different on each side. So let's go ahead and bring it around like we're going to do our tricep exercise. And we're going to grab. And remember, your other side might have been super close together. This side, it might be your head and your buns. Everybody's a little bit different. And then same thing. So I'm going to try to pull my shoulder up. And I get to a certain point where I'm tight, and then I'm just stretching the band. I'm not going to stretch the band. I'm just going to try to lift. And then I'm going to pull down. So lift and pull down. So goal is to feel a stretch, a little bit of mobility in the shoulders. And again, both sides are a little bit different. So on this one, this shoulder on me likes to kind of pop up a little bit. I'm trying to get a good stretch. We don't want to feel pain. We don't want to feel discomfort. You are welcome to just do a couple and then call it good, or adjust your hand position. Good, 2 more. So here's a lift and a down, stretch, and then lift and a stretch. Good, go ahead and bring it in, little shake out, roll the shoulders. Now we're going to do our shoulder dislocates. And again, if you don't want to do the dislocates, I want you to find a wall, start by standing away from the wall. The farther away you are, the easier this is. And you're just going to draw circles. The rest of us, shoulders down, set the shoulders. Take your arms wide, start wide, bring it all the way up, circle it around, thumbs together, take it out, circle all the way around, and then You're still trying to think thumbs together in the back, but they're not going to go. Now, if you get to here and you're like, ooh, this isn't going to work, I want you to stretch the band a little bit so that you can try to get those arms back there. That's why I say, you know, start with a light colored band or a light resistance band. If you want to make this harder, you bring your hands closer together, or that's where you go get a yoga strap. But resistance band is going to be a little bit better for your shoulders, especially just starting out, up and around. So nice, good circle, up, lift, thumbs together, out to the side, up, down, and reach. Good, thumbs, lift it up and back, try to squeeze them together, up and around, and then just think open the chest. So we're activating some of those muscles in our back when we do this. Good, this is going to be the last one for me. Up, down, and reach. Let's bring it in. Little shoulder shake out. So now we're going to do our band pull aparts. I recommend doing this with your palms facing up, because when we do palms facing down, we start to do this and we roll those shoulders in. I want you having your shoulders set. And if you can, thumbs up, try to keep the thumbs up, 10 on the right. We're going to go ahead and start when you're ready. So 10 on the right. We don't want to let the whole body move. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going right into the other side. So I set my shoulder, but reset if you need to. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to give a little shake out, relax my lats and my traps, and then I'm going to bring it all the way in. So set the shoulders, brace the core. 10. Can you go past parallel? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Bring it in. A little bit of a shakeout. Now we're going to do some pull downs. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your arms about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. You're going to take your arms up. So if you can get them higher up, great. If they need to be a little forward, that's okay too. Right side only. It's not pulling to your armpit. I want you to drive the elbow like you're trying to put your elbow in your back pocket and then lift. So my left arm is stationary. I'm trying to do a nice good pull. 4, and again, if you're here, you're still going to try to put that elbow in your back pocket, okay? So if you can't go straight overhead, that's all right. Your range of motion is just a little different. Good. 2 and 1, and now I'm going to bring it in. You can give yourself a little shake out, wiggle your fingers, bring the arms up again, set your shoulders, and you're going to pull and bring it in. So a lot of times we pull and we want to bring our hand to our armpit. Elbow is trying to go into your back pocket, okay? And we don't want to go down and then try to reach. It's just elbow to the back pocket. Good. I'm going to do about 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, arms down. Wiggle those fingers a little bit. Last exercise we're going to do is we're going to take our arms out, start with a little bit wider here, and then we're going to drive it so that our elbows are here. We don't want to have our elbows up, and down and vice versa, but we're setting the shoulders, keeping the upper arms locked in, and we're going to straighten and bend. We're working a little triceps here, so all we're doing is straightening and bending our elbows. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, set it down. We're going to shake it out, roll the shoulders up, back, and down into your back pocket. Let's take a couple nice deep breaths in right here. So big breath in, spread the fingers, spread the toes, and exhale. Good. One more time, big breath in and out. And you are all done.